Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now today we're diving into why investing in an existing old property focused on high yield in a regional area might seem appealing due to high rental yields and a lower overall purchase price. But when you factor in maintenance costs, tax benefits, and capital growth, a brand new property in a capital city often proves to be the smarter choice for long-term wealth creation with way less risk. And in the video, I'm going to give you all the facts and all the figures, some reference points, and some links that you can do your own research and you can make up your own mind. Now let's compare two investment scenarios over a 10-year period. An older high yield property in a regional area and a brand new growth focused property in a capital city. Here's how they stack up. Now at a first glance, the regional property offers high rental yield of 7%. I've been pretty generous here to put 7%. Many are finding 5, 6, not 7, but I'm going to put 7 in this scenario, compared to 4.5% for the city property. However, yield isn't the whole story. When we consider maintenance costs and tax benefits, the picture does change. You will also notice that the capital growth projection for the regional property is slightly lower than the capital growth for the property in the city, and I'll share some data later as to why this is the case. Now, one of the things that you must realize is that older properties always come with higher maintenance costs. According to Home Guide, average annual home maintenance costs range from $4,000 a year to $22,000 per year, depending on factors like the home's age and condition. Now, in our scenario, the older regional property incurs maintenance costs of just $2,700 per year. So I'm really trying to help the old property out here, because if your flooring or roofing goes, or major plumbing works are needed, or all your wiring is stuffed, or there are structural issues, wood rot, a major landscaping repair is needed, fencing repairs, or the kitchen and bathrooms need a renovation, you're gonna be up for tens of thousands of dollars. And these repairs can come at a time when you do not have the money. This is in comparison to just $800 per year for the brand new property because it's brand new. This difference significantly impacts your annual cash flow. Depreciation also plays a crucial role. The new city property qualifies for high depreciation deductions of $18,750 in the first year, compared to $6,750 in the first year for the old property. High depreciation is a non-cash expense that enhances your post-tax cash flow. In other words, it can give you a massive tax refund. So thanks to high depreciation, the capital city property results in an annual tax refund of $13,954, whereas the regional property provides only $4,156 in tax refund. I have not used a high income earner for this example. If you earn over $190,000, then the tax refund is going to be higher. It's going to be closer to $18,000 a year for the brand new property. So brand new property is actually perfect for high income earners because they pay more tax. This substantial difference boosts your post-tax cash flow, making the city property more financially attractive. Now, regarding capital growth, according to CoreLogic's 30 Years of Housing Values report, capital cities have historically outperformed regional areas in terms of capital growth. Over the past 3 decades, capital city dwelling values have grown by 409%, while regional values have grown by 294%. So what's the reason for this? Well, capital cities tend to have high demand driven by larger populations and more jobs and diverse economic bases, which all support steady property price growth. You can find the full report on CoreLogic's website for more insights. Now, have some people sometimes made money by investing in regional Australia? Yes, they have. But what is the assurance that the course that you do, the mentor that you've got, the buyer's agent that you're using, the research that you're doing on your own, what is the assurance that you're going to find that one magic regional area that's going to outperform the national average or beat the combined capital city average? You might get it right, you might get it wrong. But if you stick to capital cities in high growth locations, then you've got more chance of at least getting market averages of about 6 to 7% capital growth per year. And in fact, if you know how to do the research, then you can beat that quite substantially. So here's a chart. Let's take a look at all of the numbers, the cash flow, the capital growth. I factored in the tax refunds, and here it all is. So after 10 years, the older regional property yields a total gain of $271,000, while the brand new city property achieves $647,000. That's a difference of over $376,000 in tax-free wealth creation via the equity in the property. This demonstrates how a brand new growth-focused property in the city can significantly enhance your wealth over time, even more powerful if you earn a high income and pay a lot in tax. As I said, also, it's going to reduce your risk that you won't wind up in a dud area. You've got way more chance of winding up in a high growth location. So in summary, guys, while high yield regional properties might seem attractive initially, they come with high maintenance costs, lower tax benefits, and less capital growth. In contrast, capital city properties, despite a higher upfront investment, offer greater long-term wealth creation. So if you're a serious investor trying to build up that nest egg, trying to build up that pool of equity, that pool of net worth so that you can retire early, a growth-focused property is the way to go with way less risk. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found this analysis helpful, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights on maximizing your property investments and more insights into the Australian economy. See you next time, guys.